Alice Drimmel, the reserve, he goes in place of the absent Mark Lemon and will be racing here. The 20-year-old, the elder of the two young Drimmel brothers, son of a famous farmer. Here we go now. This is heat number one. Takes fly up and on the inside. It's good for Sam Taysar. Pursued by Todd Wiltshire. Wide at the back in blue. In last place is Alice Drimmel. But look at the man out front. Sam Taysar. This guest booking could be absolutely crucial because he got the drop on Todd Wiltshire and now he's there to be caught, PC.
Yes, he certainly is. Great first corner there from Sam Taysar. Todd Wiltshire seems to be struggling a little bit there in the second place, but he's right with him at the moment, Tony.
A great flyer from the start there by Sam Taysar. He's now hugging the white line, and look at his teammate Kai Laukkanen. He's battling with Wiltshire to get into second place. Laukkanen for the Belle Vue Aces. Wiltshire goes wide and locks up, and look at Kai Laukkanen coming through. And this will be a big shock because this could be a 5-1 to Belle Vue. What a ride by Kai Laukkanen, because Peter, the young Finn, is showing the style we saw last year.
He certainly is, and we know Laukkanen really likes this track. I mean, Wiltshire's having a go at him again now, but Laukkanen, he had a great score here last year in this same match, and he certainly got that second place to follow his teammate home.
Well, absolutely brilliant ride by Laukkanen in second place. A truly brilliant ride by the man out front, that man Sam Taysar in white. A real surprise there with Todd Wiltshire back in third place, and a 5-1 to the visitors in the very first heat is a real shock here as the visitors Belle Vue, without a win yet, lead by 5 points to 1 after heat 1. And Sam Taysar, the guest, taking the checkered flag in first place.
The Oxford fans were particularly happy that Sam Taysar was riding tonight, probably because of what the more points he scored last week he was here. And you've rubbed the nose in it a little bit in that first heat. Good start for you, though.
Yeah, I like it here because just starts are quite ripping out here. Just made it.
That's right, you made a brilliant start off gate one. You must have felt that you were going to be under a certain amount of pressure in that race because Todd Wiltshire's been in such good form.
You're right, absolutely right, because we had last week some good racing against, I had it particularly against Todd. He's very fast here, so didn't try to look back because I knew he was going to chase me, so...
Yeah, the track just looked like it was a bit wavy, you know, you seem to be jumping around a bit.
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent, don't worry.
Sorry, guys. I'm a bit still, nervous, but how the meeting will go on track's going to be better and better. So.
Okay.
What about the possibility? I'm looking at the corner of my eye of weather changing dramatically. If it rains here, what's it going to do to the conditions now you've been out on them?
Track's going to be probably more slipperier, but fingers crossed.
Looking for another maximum tonight?
Well, I can't remember when I had my maximum last time.
It starts like that, there should be no problem.
Yeah, that's easy to say.
All right, well done again. Back to the pits for you. Talking of the pits, Sam Malenko.
It was. I get penalised for trying to pass, so it's racing, I guess.
Yeah, it looks like you just missed the start, and Sammy got a good one, and you worked him really hard, and that's what you mean by you just were racing a little bit hard?
Yeah, unfortunately the track's really not perfect for racing right now. It's a bit patchy and stuff, and me trying a bit hard, lost a bit of speed on there, and Laukkanen was, there to make amends. So that's good racing to them, but I've got to make some changes fast.
Okay, what about the rest of the team? Are you going to give them any advice on what's going on?
Well, certainly. We've already spoken to a few of the guys right now. We just got to basically make some starts, we can beat them.
Right on. Well, good luck. Keep it going.
Back to you. Racing for Oxford. Gate 2 in white, Jesper Olsen, the guest for Belle Vue. Gate 3 in blue, Lucas Drimmel for Oxford. And on the outside in yellow, that's Kevin Doolan, the Australian. Away we go now. And on the inside in red this time, picking it up is Alice Drimmel, relishing in the experience of the previous lap. But look at the pressure on him now, because the Belle Vue pair has come through to leave Lucas Drimmel in their wake. And in the white helmet colours, Jesper Olsen there is moving into second place. In third place in yellow is Kevin Doolan, and Belle Vue will rally. But look at the action on the corner, because somehow squeezed out was Lucas Drimmel. The Belle Vue pair doing well, but Alice Drimmel now fast out front.
Yeah, the track looks a little bit patchy, Tony. The riders seem to be booking and rearing round the turns there. There seems to be some wet, slippery patches and a bit of grip around. So basically, they're all over the show at the moment. The Belle Vue pair now seem to have settled for the second and third places.
And blocking the way they are to Lucas Drimmel at the back. He'll struggle to get through that pair, but with a share of the points for Belle Vue, that will be quite an effort as they go into the last lap here. But going wide in white is Jesper Olsen, locking up completely as Lucas Drimmel. Mistakes all round at the back, but no mistakes by the man out front, because Alice Drimmel in the red helmet colours takes the heat with some comfort, having second place in white white, Jesper Olsen of Belle Vue. Third in yellow is Kevin Doolan of Belle Vue, and that means it's 3 points apiece, the heat score for that one, and that means it is now certainly Oxford 4, Belle Vue 8 with 2 heats gone. The Belle Vue captain tonight. Next to him, Jan Stakeman, the Dane who rides for Oxford. He goes from gate 2. From gate 3, it's Glenn Cunningham, the English rider. And on the outside, the likeable Aussie, Steve Johnson, goes for Oxford. This is heat number 3 in the Elite League at the moment. On the inside in white, Andy Smith makes the trap exactly as he wants, but pressure around the outside from Steve Johnson. Now coming through on the inside is Jan Stakeman. Real pressure on the Belle Vue rider, but Andy Smith has got it to the front, and Andy Smith will battle a whole list. A really good start by the veteran.
Yeah, Andy made a great start there. You know, Tony, Andy's just changed the Jawa machines prepared by that 1980 world champion Michael Lee, and he seems to be getting all the results right now, and Andy Smith's jumped on the Michael Lee bandwagon right now.
1 or 2 riders, Chris Louis riding Michael Lee tuned machinery as well this season, but there is Andy Smith stretching his lead down the back straight here now. In second place in blue is Jan Stakeman. In third place in red is Steve Johnson. It'll be a 3-all if it stays like this, because Glenn Cunningham is struggling at the back as they go into the last lap, but Andy Smith gaining in confidence and taking on the true responsibility of captain of the Belle Vue Aces here this evening. And Andy Smith, as we approach the checkered flag, will hold on to this and take it and celebrate. In second place in blue it's Jan Stakeman. Third in red is Steve Johnson. 3 points apiece the heat score, and now it's Oxford 7, Belle Vue 11, that with 3 heats gone. And certainly a fine effort by Andy Smith there.
Captaincy, tell us about those conditions, because they look very tough.
Yeah, it's a bit choppy going around the corners, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, you made a good start from the inside again.
Yeah.
Looks like gate 1's working really well.
I think gate 1's a big advantage. Nice bit, a little bit of dirt there.
Sure.
Well, let's take a look at the start again, and perhaps now you can see it for yourself. And
here we go.
there you go.
Dropped the clutch about right, Andy?
Yeah, I haven't been making starts lately, so it was a bonus.
Sure. And
Very pleased.
Peter was saying in the commentary that you've changed your equipment. You've gone over to Jawa bikes, frames and the engines.
Yeah,
How's that working out?
I've been on GMs for about 15 years. I decided I needed a change.
Right.
And I think it's paying off now.
Right. And Michael Lee's doing the servicing.
Michael Lee's doing one, and I've got an engine that Flash is doing as well.
All right.
What's the feeling in the team at the moment? Because obviously it's a very tough situation. You're at the bottom of the league. I know you're struggling. You've got injuries as well. You're the captain of the team now. You've got to hold it all together. What are you saying to the boys?
I think we'll do all right tonight. Everything looks good. We've got a good guest with Sam Tizar. It's pity Peter Narlin's left, but hopefully we can find a replacement.
You know, but Jonathan was saying that you've had problems. You had a long period of time where you didn't do a home match. I think you've only done one in about 10 weeks. There must be some feelings in the camp where crikey, what the hell's going on, sort of thing.
I know. We were all thinking, is Belle Vue ever going to run again?
Sure.
With the stock cars and then the rain and then the stock cars again and then the rain.
Sure.
Our season's not really begun.
No. So it's a sort of a feeling where you're sort of back to the walls. You're sort of going to give it everything you got.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get going and climb back up.
Well, you've got a good start, and Andy Smith is doing exactly what he should be for this historic side. The Belle Vue Aces having problems at the moment.
Kevin Doolan in yellow and black representing Belle Vue. The rain is already starting to come down. Track conditions could change here, but the lineup on the inside, Kevin Doolan in yellow. For Oxford, it's Lucas Drimmel, first time out in his ride in heat 2. He goes from gate 2. Belle Vue, Jason Lyons, a real flyer last week when guesting when we saw him at Kings Lynn, goes from gate 3. And on the outside, Joe Screen, the guest from Eastbourne. Peter, the rain may make a difference, but I wonder what will happen here.
Yeah, the track will probably take it, but it'll make it slippery, Tony, that's for sure.
Away they go. Screen comes across from the outside. The Oxford fans will love this because Lucas Drimmel is with him, and the disappointment with Jason Lyons in third place. The Belle Vue fans who've travelled down the M6 and the M40 to get here will want him to do well, but this time Oxford are pulling it back. Remember, this will level it up if they get a 5-1 here. The 5-1 in favour favour of the visitors in Heat 1, but Joe Screen, their guest from Eastbourne, the Grand Prix rider, is going well. He may have been a bit disappointing in the Grand Prix so far, but his league form now is seeing Joe Screen at his very best, Peter.
Yeah, this is much better for Oxford now. It's just what they need at the moment, but Jason Lyons certainly hasn't given up, but Joe Screen is really shepherding Lucas Drimmel round here, hoping to get this 5 points for Oxford.
And Lucas Drimmel trying to keep Jason Lyons at bay and preventing him attacking Joe Screen. Some team riding out front, but here he comes, and Jason Lyons is going to put the pressure on Lucas Drimmel. Jason Lyons in white will have a go down this straight against Drimmel, but Drimmel will just hold on, and Joe Screen in front wins it ahead of his teammate Lucas Drimmel in blue. Back in third place in white is Jason Lyons. That's the first 5-1 of the night to the home team Oxford, and it's now 12-all with 4 heats gone, all to race for with 11 more heats to go. And the Oxford fans will be delighted with their guest there, Joe Screen. 3 race points for him taking the checkered flag. They second place paid 3 for that one. But there's the lineup, Heat 5. On the inside, it's Steve Johnston for Oxford. Gate 2 for Belle Vue, the Finn, Kai Laukkanen. Jan Stakeman, the Dane, goes from gate 3 for Oxford. On at the outside, the guest who won his first race, Sam Taser, who was paid 15 from 6 rides here last week for his parent club, Peterborough. Just from behind. Starting Marshall looks away and away they go, and Steve Johnson gets a flyer on the inside, but coming round and put him under some pressure in white is Sam Taser, but going through in yellow, Kai Laukkanen for Belle Vue. A surprise move that, as the front two battled. Laukkanen saw the gap, went through, and now he's the man, PC, they have to chase.
Yeah, Kai Laukkanen really hasn't shown his true form this year, but last week he had a great meeting at Belle Vue. He scored paid 18 points from 7 rides, and certainly is carrying on from where he left off at Belle Vue last week, Tony.
Fast and furious, Kai Laukkanen in the yellow helmet colour, but the Oxford pair are behind him in Steve Johnson and Jan Stakeman, which would produce a share of the points. Disappointment for Sam Taser, who this time at the back doesn't look anything like as quick as he did first time out, but that's being more than made up for by the man in the yellow helmet colour, who goes into the final lap with some 15 metres in front. In second place, well, they're dicing for that, but it's, well, catch as catch can, because room at the back for Sam Taser to come through. I don't think he's going to do it, but Kai Laukkanen, his teammate, wins it. Ahead of in red, Steve Johnson. Third in blue is Jan Stakeman. That's the share of the points with Oxford 3, Belle Vue 3. That's 15 points apiece now with 5 races gone. And certainly from Belle Vue's point of view, it's not going too badly, because they've certainly provided 2 of the 4 heat winners. The second of their winners, Kai Laukkanen there.
First corner, give us some results.
It's hard to say because everything happens so fast in first corner every time. But first time I make a little bit gate. I usually been it really bad gating, and I watched since John was inside. I think no, he going to push all out. I turned in and coming inside, and it's working.
You took advantage of a really smart corner there with Steve Johnson moving everybody up. I think he was looking for Sammy Taser to make a good start. You took advantage for your club that you're guesting. Well, I shouldn't say guesting, that you're riding for, but you're settled down on the track right now. It seems to be working for you really well.
Yeah, it changed my setup a little bit after the first race. That didn't was so creepy what that looking. It changed a little bit timing and so on, but now that's working well. I'm really happy for my bike.
I think I need to translate a little bit. He said the setup it looked a little grippy, but it wasn't as grippy as he thought. So he went out there and set the bike up, and it seems to be working good for you. Yeah. Well, what do you got to say to the other boys?
Same thing.
Yep, get them going.
Yeah.
Okay, back to you guys, Tony and PC.
Here's the lineup for heat number 6. Jason Lance for Belle Vue goes from the inside. Lucas Drimmel is the rider replacement for the absent and injured Mark Lemon, goes from gate 2. Gate 3, the guest Jesper Olsen for Belle Vue on the outside. Todd Wiltshire, who we expect to jet from the tapes, and we expect, PC, a battle between the man on the inside, Jason Lyons, and the fellow Aussie on the outside, Todd Wiltshire.
Yeah, I suspect that Jason Lyons has done some adjustments to his bike, because
Sky Sports a week this Saturday from Wrocław in Poland. Our starting marshal walks away, up by the tapes and on the inside. A brilliant start by Jason Lyons for Belle Vue, but round the outside goes Todd Wiltshire, and this promises to be Australia v Australia. Mildura against Sydney out front in the white helmet colours. Jason Lyons, the Victorian, leads. The man from Sydney's in second place. Trailing in their wake in yellow, Jesper Olsen, the guest for Belle Vue. At the back in blue, it's Lucas Drimmel, but this out front is a battle for the Aussies, PC.
Yeah, certainly these two Aussies, they didn't have particularly good first rides, but they've made their adjustments, and now they're really flying. You can see those bikes seem to be working a lot better now. Lots more grip there. Todd Wiltshire picking that front wheel up down that back straight, but Jason Lyons here in front He's having a great ride after making that perfect start.
Well, Jason Lyons is in front, and with his teammate Jesper Olsen in third place. If it stays like this, it'll be a 4-2 in favour of Belle Vue, and that will take them, with 6 heats gone, into a 2-point lead here with all to race for. But coming towards the checkered flag in white now and taking it, pulling up is Jason Lyons, ahead of in red in second place, Todd Wiltshire. Third place in yellow and black goes to Jesper Olsen. That's 4 points to 2 to the visitors. It's now 17 to Oxford, 19 to Belle Vue. The visitors leading by 2 points here at the Oxford Stadium.
So, you know, you get out in front, you got to try do your best to stay there. Unfortunately, the conditions are terrible, really, but you know, just stayed on and got the 3 points, and that was good.
Well, Todd, let's take a look at the start of this again, and you tell us.
There you go.
I knew I was going to be struggling straight from the start off gate 4 there, but it wasn't too bad. But like Lyonsy said, the track conditions aren't very, very nice, and really, the harder you try, like I proved in the first one, sometimes the worse you can be. And you know, I had to go here on the outside of Jason. Things didn't really work out, you know, spun up and didn't really gain anything on him. So the remainder of the ride, really, all I could do was just actually button off the throttle slightly, try and keep the wheels in line rather than turn too much, and just hang on to Jason.
And you had a loop behind you?
No, but I could hear him all the time, you know, and it always seemed to be coming from the inside, coming out of the corner, so I did my best to stay there.
Yeah, you just rode a nice steady line. You didn't need to do anything too special. You know, it was just important to stay on the right line and not make any mistakes.
Yeah, earlier on I was, you know, going a bit too fast into the corners and going past the corner a little bit. You know, in the last 2 laps I slowed down a bit and came out of the corner faster.
Sure.
Well, thanks, gents. We'll let you get back to the pits and
Nice
get yourself
one.
prepared for the next
Sure.
one. Let's go to our comment.
For Oxford, their guest, Joe Screen, a heat winner first time out, goes from the inside. Andy Smith, the Belle Vue captain tonight, goes from gate 2. Alice Drimmel goes from gate 3 for Oxford, one of 2 brothers, and Alice, of course, winning his first race, or his second race rather, heat 2. And on the outside is Glenn Cunningham for the visitors, yet to get a point from his first ride. The rain now starts to pour down, and this makes conditions difficult because out front, Joe Screen, who can ride in virtually anything, pours down the back straight. Ahead of in second place, Andy Smith in white. Back in third place in blue is Alice Drimmel. Glenn Cunningham for Belle Vue is not liking this, and it really is wet and unpleasant, but this won't worry Joe Screen. He stays out front, he gets none of the dirt, and he'll stay dry and clean, Peter, and he's riding well.
That's right, Tony. If you notice now, the lads are actually riding wider because they're having to ride on that dark dirt which is outside, because on the inside where it's quite polished, it is very, very slippery down there, so they've got to ride on those darker patches of the track.
Well, it's certainly going well here for Joe Screen, but his teammate and partner in third place is Alice Drimmel, and if it stays like this, it'll be 4-2 to Oxford as they go into the final lap, and that once again will level it up with 7 heats gone. But it could go wrong here, but Joe Screen is having to look carefully across to the man behind him, Andy Smith. Joe Screen in red goes wider and wider to pick up what grip there is, and Joe Screen in red ahead of in white Andy Smith, and third place in yellow, that is Glenn Cunningham coming through ahead of Alice Drimmel. Not what the home side wanted, because eventually it finishes a split of the points, and it's now Oxford 20, Belle Vue 22. And certainly the young Aussie goes for Belle Vue from gate 2. Jan Stakeman, the Dane, goes from the third gate, and from the outside the Finn Kai Laukkanen in 4. They have to race 12 heats here for the result to stand, and we're coming up to heat number 8, the rain heat number 8. Now starting Marshall Clive Herbert walks away, up by the takes and away on the inside in blue. This time goes Lucas Drimmel, and that's a surprise, but round the outside in white flies Kai Laukkanen, and Laukkanen goes all the way round them as if they're standing still. The home pair in second and third place, with Jan Stakeman third, and now trailing at the rear is Kevin Doolan, who's not liking it tonight, but certainly things changing on the track. But Kai Laukkanen, as he was previous time out, is out front.
Yeah, he's certainly riding a great race, this Kai, but this rain is still coming down bad, and it's very difficult to stay on these bikes. That really now is the rider's priority, is to stay on the bike, because it's very important to hold these positions. But Kai Laukkanen seems to be riding a great outside run there.
I don't think we'd see too much overtaking in these conditions. The rain pouring down, but I can tell you behind the rain clouds are some more clear skies, so we should finish the meeting as we go into the final lap now. Kai Laukkanen, the Finn, is in front for Belle Vue. Second place, Lucas Drimmel, the young Czech for Oxford. In third place, Jan Stakeman, the former Grand Prix rider, the Dane for Oxford. And now putting some pressure on Stakeman at the back is Kevin Doolan as they come into the final straight, but it's enough for the winner in white is Kai Laukkanen, and certainly where he's concerned, in second place in red is Jan Steekman, and third in blue there I think is Lucas Drimmel. I'm not sure if they got through at the end, but now Jason Lance a winner in his last race. Gate 3, that's Steve Johnston for Oxford. He has paid 4 points from his 2 rides so far. On the outside, that's the guest Jesper Olsen. That's the lineup. That's what they look like under their helmets as you see the photos. Spera, our starting marshal, having problems this time to get them into line. This time he does walk away. Our referee, Cranberry, lets the tape fly up, and away goes Jason Lance in the white helmet. Down goes our first crash of the night. Jan Steekman on the first bend. Our referee will watch this carefully before deciding if he'll stop it. I think he may let it go now, because it looks as if Jan Steekman will get off the track. But looking at the action on the track in red, Steve Johnston has picked up the lead ahead of Jason Lance. Back in third place is Jesper Olsen, and this will be another share of the points if the Oxford van out front, Steve Johnson, takes it away. Jan Steekman a disappointment, but Jono this time is flying.
Yeah, Jono made a good start there. He's ahead in this race now, and it's a good job that Jan Steekman got off the track, because if the referee had have stopped it, it would have meant that Steve Johnson would have had to try and make that same start again, and Jan Steekman would have been excluded for having the race stopped.
They're able to get back towards the inside of the track now after the efforts of going wide as they go into the last lap. How now in the red helmet colours there. Steve Johnston, as we look down on him, ahead of in second place Jason Lance for Belle Vue. Back in third place now, and certainly as the sun glints here in yellow and black is Jesper Olsen. This will be a share of the points once again, with a heat 1 in red by Steve Johnston ahead of Jason Lyons and Jesper Olsen. It's 3 points apiece, the heat score. It's now 26 points to Oxford, 28 points to the visitors from Belle Vue, and Steve Johnston will be delighted with that, his first heat win of the night.
You said it, you just came in and said it's pretty tough out there. How bad is it? Because we hoped it, obviously the rain and with the raking it, there might actually be a little bit of improvement.
Yeah, it's not really an improvement. I think if you can get a good run and ride around the dirt line, you're pretty right. No one's going to pass you. You're just going to fill them in. I was making sure that I sort of come off the corner, went to the inside, and whoever was behind me was going to get filled in, you know.
Sure.
I think I was lucky in the first corner. I made a pretty decent start and kept it wide.
Let's take a look at it with you, and you can see for yourself just if you think you did as well as you hoped.
I think so.
Gosh, there you go. The bike seemed to really hook up quite nicely, because Jason Lyons is no slouch from the start, is he?
No, well, I knew he was right there, because I could hear him right there, but as I stayed wide, because you can see from the rerun that on the inside it's very wet. As soon as you hit that wet stuff, see, Jason's not that far, he's right on me. Then he's hitting the wet stuff. As I'm going across now, I'm just about to run into the loose dirt that's a bit drier, and that's where I drove past him a bit. Once I did that, really, I've got the line. I mean, no matter what he did, he would have had to. I would have had to make a mistake for him to pass me, I think.
I felt that if the rain stays off from where they've graded the track, and it dries just a fraction, it could actually sort of turn out to be quite a good racetrack tonight.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. The bike I'm riding now, my one's pulling like a tractor. It's going really good. So if it comes a bit grippier, it'll be look out, you know. But yeah, I think it'll be good as long as it does.
Is that a Massey Ferguson or a John Deere?
That's a Zeta. It's a Czech brand.
Listen, we had Andy Smith in here earlier. Obviously, Belle Vue are trying to pull one out of the bag tonight. Obviously, Oxford want this one badly too. It's not been an easy start to the season.
No, just when things looked like they were getting going and we strengthened the team, we got Jan Steekman back in and got Mark Lemon in, and everything was going pretty good.
Sure.
Lemo's come back, and all he's had his injuries ever since he came back, so he's not been at his best. Jimmy Nielsen, who's been flying every week, no matter where we've been, you can count on him for double figures. All of a sudden he breaks his bone in his shoulder and his hand, so we're back to square one. But luckily tonight we've got Joe. He's a good guest. I reckon we can beat him.
Okay.
I hope.
All right, well, we are about to get
2 points here on the inside for Oxford. Lucas Drimmel as the rider replacement for the absent Mark Lemon. In gate 2, Glenn Cunningham goes for Belle Vue. Oxford gate 3, Todd Wiltshire, who we spoke to just now, he'll be looking for a heat win here. And on the outside is the captain of Belle Vue Aces tonight. That's Andy Smith. Pretty impressive with a heat win in his first ride. Second place, second time out. This heat number 10, our starting marshal walks away and away they go. And Todd Wiltshire this time jets from the tapes. He's made the adjustments he needed. And now down the back straight, Todd Wiltshire in front with his teammate Lucas Drimmel in second place. And if it stays like this, they will turn that 2-point deficit to a 2-point lead. Back in third place, Andy Smith for Belle Vue. Tailed off at the rear is Glenn Cunningham, who's struggling somewhat this evening. But this time, Todd Wiltshire stretches his lead down the back straight. His teammate Lucas Drimmel is with him, and Oxford are finding their form.
Yeah, certainly the Drimmel boys are going well tonight, and that's the key to this, because we've been having such a close match up until now, but this is certainly what Oxford are looking for, a 5-1 to get them 2 points clear.
as Steve Johnson calls them the Dremel sisters. They'll have to produce the goods because they're getting lots of rides with the absence of Mark Lemon here tonight. But as we go into the final lap, it's going to be a 5-1 in favour of Oxford here if it stays like this, because Todd Wiltshire, the flying Australian from Sydney, the Grand Prix man who's second in the series so far after 2 meetings, is going to take this one with some comfort in red. His teammate in blue in second place is Lucas Dremel. Back in third place in white for the Belle Vue Aces is Andy Smith. That's a 5-1 to Oxford, who now lead by 31 points to 29. They've turned round that 2-point deficit, and the home team they're next to each other in the centre. As we look at them now, Oxford lead by 31 points to 29 for heat 11. And it's Dremel, we see him there. Starling Marshall looks up to the sunshine, looks up to the referee, and away they go. And jetting from the tapes is Sam Taysar this time. And certainly Joe Screen has work to do, because the Belle Vue pair is in front, and if it stays like this, the lead will change once again in this crucial meeting at the wrong end of the Elite League. But what a start by the rider in white, Sam Taysar. With him now in yellow and black on the inside is his partner, Kai Laukkanen. They will have work to do here, because certainly Joe Screen will put them under pressure, but Sam started well. Yeah,
Joe's having a go, but it's very, very tricky out there. We can see that Sam Taysar's leading the race, and certainly the Oxford specialist, Kai Laukkanen's having a great ride there, covering for that second place. And if it stays like this, this will put Belle Vue 2 points ahead again, Tony.
A ding-dong battle here at Sandy Lane tonight. Sunshine and showers there may be. The lead changing hands once again, but out front as they go into the last lap is Sam Taysar ahead of his teammate and partner for tonight, Kai Laukkanen. Joe Screen trying to make ground in third place, but trying now to go wide, and in fact losing ground here. And the heat winner in white there is Sam Taysar, ahead of in yellow Kai Laukkanen. Joe Screen in red takes third place. That's 5 points to 1 to the visitors, and it's now 32 to Oxford, and well, 34 to the visitors from Belle Vue. And with, well, now just 4 heats to go.
Belle Vue need, and you now lead this again. Can you take it all the way and win it?
It's up to the guys, really. They riding, they trying hard. If we're gonna make a start, we're gonna make it.
You know, you were a little bit unlucky in your second ride, because you made quite a good start and Steve Johnson sort of ran you out. You must have been really determined to bounce back in that one.
It's really impossible to get something back, because you're losing so much ground.
Sure. But what I meant was that, you know, you came out in this race, and after your second ride, you must have really wanted to bounce back and win your third ride.
That's what I wanted, exactly, yeah.
All right.
The question is, can you guys hold on to it? You're doing your bit. Who else have you going to put out? Anybody else that
we certainly will. We're going to push hard, like I said.
All right. Any changes in the setup? We saw a lot of people messing with the bikes. What have you done?
Yeah, I changed gear, carbureted mine jet, timing.
Really? Everything?
Altogether, everything really, and it seems like it does work.
Sure, because it punched you out of the start. Do you feel that the rain, if it stays dry now, do you feel that the track's going to improve?
Probably still do one racing line only, you know. If you go in the middle way.
Okay.
All right. Well, we will see. There's a lot of changes, as you've just heard from Sam there. Let's go to our Sam. He's down in the pits. What's the feeling down there, Sam?
Yeah, but I have to tell you, this is the first time so far that we've not had a tactical substitute used by either team, and the racing is certainly tight. Jesper Olsen, the guest for Belle Vue, goes to the inside in this one. Heat number 12. Steve Johnston, the flying Aussie, so good last time out, goes for Oxford, their captain from Gate 2. Gate 3 is Andy Smith, the Belle Vue captain tonight, and Lucas Dremel is the reserve in action here. And Lucas Dremel so far with 3 second places among his 5 rides. He's a busy man tonight, the young Czech, one of 2 sons of the famous Alice Dremel, the former Czech champion. Starling Marshall walks away once again, and they fly away from the tapes, and the man who makes it first is Andy Smith this time, and that's quite a shot. Down goes Steve Johnston. He seemed to go down of his own accord. I just wonder whether he'll get up, and what our referee Graham Reeve will decide here, because the referee is stopping the race as Steve Johnston takes a perler. The referee has an option to exclude, or he can put all 4 riders back in if he wishes, but he has excluded Steve Johnson, and that is quite a move that will go in favour of Belle Vue, because with Steve Johnson out, there is the red light. Peter Collins alongside me, a decision which could affect the whole result.
Yeah, I think what happened there, Steve Johnson was on Gate 2, and on the inside, Jesper Olsen kind of made the start on him, but they were very, very close entering the first turn. We can see all that shale there on Steve Johnson's bike. But again, this is the start. Just watch on the inside, the rider in yellow, Jesper Olsen comes across Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson is unable to turn his bike, and he was pushed out wide, and down he's gone. And it was a very, very difficult decision from the referee. There's no doubt about that, because he gets some elbowing there, Steve Johnson, from Jesper Olsen. Jono can't turn his bike, and down he goes. The referee could have put all four back in, but he's excluded Johnston.
Because that was the decision I made.
Why just change your decision for once.
No, Colin.
Why not?
Because I'm not going to.
Will you speak to Steve Johnson?
Eh?
Have a look on the video. Just have a look at the elbows and everything was going on in the first turn.
As I explained to you, I would have put the reds on if I was going to put all four back in the rerun.
Well, everything seems to be against Oxford at the moment.
All right.
Thank you.
That is Colin Meredith, the Oxford team manager. That man there is Graham Reeve, our referee. He's firm in his decision here, and certainly...
No, I mean, personally, I think it was first Ben Bunchen, and he should have had all four back, you know, but referee's made a decision and sticks with it.
Yeah, I seen Peter Collins actually was on your side a little bit there, say it was going to be a very difficult call for Graham Reeves to make, but he's made the decision. You got to deal with it, but you got to keep those boys fired up, don't you?
Yeah, we are. We've got 3/8 to go. And, you know, we're still battling in there hard. Everything seems to be against Oxford Speedway at the moment, including the rules and the regulations, but we'll hopefully get there in the end.
Yeah, well, that's Colin Meredith, not very happy with the rule.
Well, Steve Johnson's had a good night, but he hasn't had a good start to that one. Let's go back to our commentary team.
Here we go then, down the back straight here and away. In white goes Andy Smith. Andy Smith is ahead there for Belle Vue, and it's all going their way, because in second place Lucas Drimmel, back in third is Jesper Olsen, and certainly the man in blue there is Lucas Drimmel in second place, who has to do all the work with Steve Johnson excluded. But the flying start by Andy Smith has surely now helped Belle Vue on the way towards what could be victory here. Yeah,
Andy's certainly taken full advantage of that incident there with Steve Johnson. Andy's pulling away now, and he's under a bit of pressure there from Lucas Drimmel, but he seems to have that under control. Difficult to overtake right now with it being so wet and slippery.
Andy Smith then, the captain here, the first time in his long career since a 16-year-old, when he raced to elite title with Belle Vue back in 1982. And as they go into the last lap, the captain could be leading his side to their first victory of the season. Down the back straight goes Andy Smith in front in the white helmet colours, and looking now towards the checkered flag. Lucas Drimmel in blue will take second place for the home team Oxford. Back in third in yellow and black is Jesper Olsen. That's 4 points to 2 to the visitors from Belle Vue. It's now Oxford 34, Belle Vue 38. They lead by 4 points with 3 races to go. All to race for here at Sandy Lane, and the hero at the moment for Belle Vue is their veteran.
That opportunity slip there, we can see he's on gate 3 there. On the outside now, he's made a perfect start there. Lucas Drimmel in the blue didn't seem to be at the races at all in that one. Lucas has cut back to the inside, but Andy Smith is able to pull away, and Lucas Drimmel now is hanging on to second place, which he managed to do for the whole race. But certainly an important point also for Jesper Olsen, because certainly that bit of argy-barging on the first turn there certainly helped Belle Vue big time.
I wasn't very happy at all. I mean, the conditions tonight have been a bit tough anyway with the rain coming down, so it's been hard for all of us. And then there was definite, I watched the rerun twice, and I was, you know, when I was sat on the bike, I could feel him keep pushing me, which is cool. I don't mind a bit of push and shove, but in these conditions, when I got pushed so wide, I just run into the slimy stuff and I couldn't hold the thing up. I fell off, yeah, but I thought at least it would have been all 4 riders back to have another go where there was no contact and have a fair start.
Sure, I mean, everybody's been kind of talking about it. Everybody around the monitor was watching it. I'm sure a lot of them have views both ways, but definitely Colin Meredith, your team manager, tried to argue your case, and you had to go with the referee, but Graham didn't change his mind. You guys got to get back there and fight, don't you?
Yeah, it's tough for the referees, because once they make a decision, if they've got a reputation that, yeah, they'll change it every time you have a whinge, it's no good for them. But I thought it was a pretty valid point there. You can see, especially when the sky's here, you can see it on telly, you can see the rerun from every angle. We watched it from 4 different angles. I mean, you were stood there and you could see from 2 angles, you sort of went, oh, yeah, I'm not sure. And then from the other angle, you could definitely see that he was pushing me. So I just thought I should have got another go at it, really. Like, they've had 2 heat advantages now, and it's going to be tough for us to drag it back.
Yeah, well, I mean, our Kelvin Tatum says he wasn't so over-generous to you on that decision, so maybe he's seen it another way. But we feel for you. Get the boys going, and we'll just go back to the studio.
Yeah, we've got all the...
For Oxford, currently second in the Grand Prix. Guest rider Sam Taysar goes from gate 2. What a ride we expect from him. He's had 2 heat wins already. Joe Screen's in action for Oxford from gate 3. The Grand Prix rider and certainly guest from Eastbourne here tonight has Jason Lyons, is certainly one of the form men in the Elite League averages, and he goes from the outside for Belle Vue. Oxford won by 4 points. Away goes our starting marshal. Up by the tapes and on the inside, Todd Wiltshire picks it up ahead of Sam Taysar. Taysar taken wide. Can Screen come through? Screen makes no ground at all, but coming into third place is Jason Lyons. Joe Screen is now going wide, but Todd Wiltshire for Oxford out front is holding the aces, and Joe Screen, sadly for him, is in last place and has to do something, but doesn't. He goes down, and so too could Oxford's hopes. Joe Screen has fallen. He's picked it up again at the back. You'll see the action out front, though, which is Todd Wiltshire in front, and there is Joe Screen trading, but Wiltshire has it there for the taking. Yeah, Joe was soon back on that bike. He realises that he's got to stay on there, because if anything happens to the 3 riders in front of him, he would at least pick up a point, but certainly is riding round at the back now, but Todd Wiltshire seems to have it all sewn up. Well, with a lap to go, Todd Wiltshire out front in red leads the way ahead of Sam Taysar, the Belle Vue guest, in white. In third place, it's Jason Lyons in yellow and black. This will be a share of the points if it stays like this, and will mean that going into heat 14 with 2 to go, the visitors will still lead by 4 points. There is the checkered flag to take it on that with a share of the points, and it's now Oxford 37, Belle Vue 41 with 2 heats to go. And that man in the red helmet colours, Todd Wiltshire, did his bit, but sadly for him, his teammate and partner, the guest Joe Screen, took a tumble at the back, and that affected the result, I'm sure, because Screen might have had something to do with this. Track there, he loses about 10 yards there, all in one go there to Jason Lyons. Screeny again has another big go down there. Down he goes. He's coming along the start and finish straight there. Now Screeny's going to have that big blast around the outside there. Just loses it entering that turn, but he hangs onto the bike. He hangs onto the clutch and actually gets back on. He doesn't stall the engine, gets back going, because he knows that he's got to score a point if possible. And certainly if he'd have stayed down on the track, he would have had no chance at any points. And he rode round there, but still finished last. Well, a great win for that man in red, Todd Wiltshire, but not enough to put his team in contention. They are 4 points behind.
Yeah, we're certainly struggling, as you can see, but conditions aren't real favourable, but we'll go right at the end.
You say these fans have stayed out and watched all night, and I know you want to give them something to cheer about, yeah?
Certainly, we always seem to give them a last head decider, and let's just hope we can get it back and can get a last head decider tonight.
Yeah, do you think that's a possibility? You know, you popped out the start really well there, but Joe struggled. Do you think the track conditions are making it awkward to get 5-1s?
I think without doubt. I think Belle Vue, we've caught them on a night where they're very smart, and they've got a brilliant guest in Sam Taysar tonight, who's an Oxford track specialist as well as a fantastic gator. So they've got a good move there by Belle Vue. But no, Calvin, it's just a matter of a gate. You see me gate. I didn't ride a special race. I wasn't very fast. I was just riding the line. So we just got to make some starts.
All right. Well, we know you're scratching you.
But who knows? On the inside, it's Jesper Olsen, the reserve and the guest for Belle Vue. Gate 2, Lucas Drimmel, the reserve for Oxford. Gate 3, Kevin Doolan. On the outside, Jan Stakeman. Our starting marshal moves away. Away they go, and on the inside in white, just the start Belle Vue wanted for Jesper Olsen. He's produced the trick, but round the outside in red goes Jan Stakeman. Stakeman and Olsen battling out front. In third place to keep the match alive is Lucas Drimmel. At the back for Belle Vue, the out of form Kevin Doolan. But it will all be on the last heat if it stays like this. But what a start here. Yeah, certainly a brave ride as well for Jan Stakeman to go round the outside there of Jesper Olsen, because Olsen seemed to have it all sewn up, but Stakeman's produced his best ride late on in the night, and a 4-2 here for Oxford would certainly make things a little bit more respectable for them. Respectful indeed. It will close it up, and we'll all be on a last heat decider here as a grand finale to this one. It could be even worse, because it could be level with Jesper Olsen stumbling and the pressure being put on him by Lucas Drimmel. But out front, Jan Stakeman has opened up a gap. The excitement in second place will count as they go into the final lap. Jan Stakeman won't want to make a mistake here. The battle is joined in second place here between these two. You see on your screen here, because in white, Jesper Olsen. But look at the battle. Going wide in blue is Lucas Drimmel, but there in white, it's just about taken by Jesper Olsen, with Lucas Drimmel third in blue. That's 4 points to 2 in favour of the home team Oxford. It's now 41-43, and we're in once again for a last heat decider. Jan Stakeman has played his part for Oxford in winning that one. The battle behind also counted, but Jan Stakeman will be pleased with his effort. Heading home, Jesper Olsen of Belle Vue.
The boys are up for it, so yeah, fingers crossed.
It's been a tough meet though, hasn't it?
Oh, tell me about it. What can you do, you know? When it rains, it rains, but you know, we've got to heat 15 and it stopped raining, and yeah, I think we'll get there.
It was a good ride there though, because you had to come round Jesper Olsen. Jesper Olsen was on the inside start, and you took the chance of having a nice long run round the corner. But even as you came into the pit corner here, it was touch and go there for a minute.
Yeah, I made the mistake of trying to take up the track going down the straightaway. And there's quite a lot of dirt there, so it looks really good. So you think, yeah, we'll go for that.
Let's take a look at the start again, because then we'll have a better view of it.
You can see here, gate 1's working really well, and you can see clearly now that the Belle Vue ride is well in front.
Yeah.
You've obviously gone for the dirt and the big long hold.
Right there, it's greasy, so I'm spinning. I can see his front wheel, so I thought, oh no. And he gave me room. We touched a few times going in the corner there, but
say the least.
Yeah. You see, then now I'm trying to go up to the fence, and right there I'm just spinning, like no tomorrow. So I think, oh
really?
Boy. Yeah.
It's not hooking up going down the straight.
No, it looks good, but it's not working. And in the race before, I made a good start off the inside, but because of the rain, my foot slipped off the foot peg and I fell off. But,
can't believe that, Jan. A man of your calibre.
Calibre. Talking of calibre, we've got to get the best calibre for that final heat. Are you confident that you can pull it off, or who would you suggest from your team? Right?
I think the boys can pull it off. We've got a good few to choose from. Joe's been a good guest. Todd's trapping. Jono's up for it. He's a little bit ticked off of what happened earlier, but I think we can do it.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. We'll let you get...
Todd Wiltshire, second in the Grand Prix Series. The Aussie from Sydney goes from gate 3 on the outside. Kai Laukkonen. Laukkonen earned his first double-figure score of the season last week for Belle Vue. He's got another so far tonight, paid 12 and going well. So all to race for. Now starting Marshal Clive Herbert. Disciplined by him all night. Referee Graham Reeves up by the tapes, and in the white helmet colours, Sam Taysar picks it up, but in blue on the inside, Joe Screen. Taysar goes round the outside. Screen closes the gate on Sam Taysar, and this will put Oxford in charge. This would give Oxford a victory if they stay like this, because Joe Screen in blue, heads in red, Todd Wiltshire. In third place in yellow is Kai Laukkonen. Can Laukkonen come through and change it all? But at the moment, it's a 5-1 in favour of Oxford, and they would win it if it stays like this, PC.
Yeah, Laukkonen's having a big go there with Joe Screen and Todd Wiltshire are out in front. Joe Screen really played his card there and pushed Sam Taysar out on that first turn and allowed Wiltshire to join him, but Laukkonen really isn't going to make it, I don't think, but he's going to try.
With just over a lap to go, Kai Laukkonen is battling, but the Oxford fans will love this one because they've come from behind, and if it stays like this, they will win their 4th home meeting of the campaign, and Belle Vue will still be looking for their first league win of the season. They will have been beaten but not disgraced. They've been competitive, but there is the checkered flag, and in blue it's won by Joe Screen ahead of Todd Wiltshire in red. The team manager Colin Meredith made the right choice. Back in third place in yellow is Kai Laukkonen. 5 points to 1 indeed to Oxford, who win it by 46 points to 44. A fabulous speedway meeting. Guest Joe Screen has played his part for Oxford. Todd Wiltshire there, his teammate and partner, has done well. The Oxford fans will certainly be back in Joe Screen in the next Grand Prix. Certainly they're applauding their team here for their 4th league win of the season here at Sandy Lane. The wheelies from Joe Screen. Todd Wiltshire is with him, and certainly it's time for celebrations here. The heat won by Joe Screen, the guest. Todd Wiltshire in 2nd place, Kai Laukkonen of Belle Vue 3rd.
Coming down the back straight, he just didn't give him any room, and he doesn't have to give him room. It was his line.
Whatever happened to dangerous riding?
John, it was his line, and he chose it.
There's no, you can't. If there's somebody halfway alongside you, you can't push him into the fence.
It wasn't halfway, John, because I was right opposite here.
Well, we were looking straight down.
Yeah, I know you were looking straight down. I was
straight down the straight.
And he was not halfway along him, mate.
Well, what do you think Sam shut off for?
Sorry?
Why do you think Sam shut off?
Well, because he could. The gap wasn't there, was it?
He'd already gone. You don't shut off
hadn't
like that.
Gone.
No. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. I'll buy you the video.
All right.
And you tell me he hadn't gone then.
All right, mate.
Because we'll see what he shows on the television now. Okay, mate. Cheers.
Oh, John, I know you're really fired up, and it was right down the wire there. You're not happy, I can tell. I mean, we heard it.
No, you can see a man coming down the straight. You can't just, Sam, you know you're right. You can't just push somebody into the fence these days. The trouble is, there's no respect for people's safety. We've seen it happen in the Grand Prix, we've seen it happen all the time. There's a man coming down the line and somebody decides he'll just shove him towards the fence and say, it's my line. That's not what Speedway's about, Sam. You know that, I know that.
John, I got to stay neutral in this one, you know what I mean? But I feel for you, brother. Okay. And you fought right to the end. Sorry that it did turn out for you. Okay, back to Tony. PC.
While that first bend with Peter Collins.
Yeah, we can see it's Joe Screen on the inside, makes a great start from the inside. Now on the outside of him, Sam Taysar's coming. Now Joe moves across to the outside, completely shuts the door, and Sam Taysar goes to the back there. But Joe, to be fair, that was a situation where he had to do it to close the gate. He didn't put Sam Taysar over the fence, and I think the referee was right there to let that go. And I am a Belle Vue fan through and through, but really Joe Screen did the business there for Oxford. That's what experience and class does. You know basically what you've got to do before you go to the start line. Joe knows he's got to move out wide. He just moves to that outside there. You see Taysar's line has been totally blocked. Sam Taysar has had to close the throttle, and you know, you don't like it when you're in that situation, there's no doubt about that, but it is fair, it's racing, and that's what racing's all about. The throttle does work two ways. Joe Screen runs him a little bit wide, and you know, certainly that's what the complaint was about. But Joe Screen, you can see that move Todd Wiltshire straight up into that second place for a 5-1 and a win for Oxford.
A fabulous meeting ending in
a great deal tonight, and you came through in heat 15. Well done.
Yeah, he started really well for me. You know, I had a bit of a fall off, and you know, great team managing to put me in the last one off gate one. You know, Todd's been making good starts all night, and I knew if I didn't make a start, I would have gone right around the line. But I made a start, and it worked good.
Obviously, Todd, Belle Vue not happy, and you saw the replay there. What did you think?
Well, understandably, but you know, I guess that's racing. I had something like that go against me a couple of weeks ago, so no, it's good, and I think it's great for these guys out here. You know, we did say that we're.
Here's another look at it.
Yeah, I mean, like Joe clearly made the start. Sam's got a pretty good run on the outside there. I had no choice but to turn around, and I think that's fairly fair. You know, Joe didn't make any sharp turns or anything, and it was a bit of good luck for us for once.
I know you guys want to thank these fans that have come out tonight, because they're all, as you can hear behind me, just going nuts. And such an important part. You've struggled a little bit this season, but they've stuck with you, haven't they?
Well, certainly that's what it's all about, and we thank the fans very much. It's obviously without them we wouldn't be here, and it's not real good for us, but I hope they're enjoying these last 8 deciders.
Can you turn it around this season?
Well, I think we can. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate for Jimmy, but again, we had a fantastic guest in Joe. But again, I think the secret of our team is our juniors, is our reserves, and you know, they went well tonight. I think if they can improve, we're going to improve.
Well, big smiles up here on
the sad side of this story here. Sammy Taysar, can you explain?
I just say Joe didn't give me any chance. Didn't give me any space to.
Yes, sometimes.
I have nowhere to go.
Yeah, sometimes a racer just needs a little bit of room to have a race, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we already know what your feelings are, John, and it just kind of echoes the same thoughts that you probably had.
Having watched it 3 or 4 times on television here, Sam, I still think that Sam was coming down the line and just had the door shut straight on him.
Yeah, well, just talk us through it, Sammy, here. We're just going to have a look at it right here.
I had a good run. Joe on the outside, Joe had a good run on the inside. Just met each other on out of turn.
This is where the referee says he's not alongside him, and Joe just.
Referee could stop the race and let us go again.
Well, it's really unfortunate for you. I can see there you're just throwing your arms up saying, come on, have a look. And, you know, I'm a racer as well. And like I said, all a racer really wants is a little bit of room. It's unfortunate it's such a vital part of the meeting. John, I thought you did a tremendous job of keeping your team in front most of the match. And it's a long way home, but there's more meetings. And I know that you're really fighting to keep this thing alive.
Sam, you've been with us. You know, we're like, this team's, we're going. It's just unfortunate. We've had so many away matches and the league position looks like it is. But we're running everybody so tight everywhere we go, all these away matches, we're running people so tight. And that's just the luck when you're at the bottom. Everybody knows when you're at the bottom, the kickings come harder. But we're going to bounce back from this. We've been going since 1928. This is just a little glitch. We're on our way back already.
Well, Sky TV will be with you next week at your home track, and hopefully you'll shine there and prove everybody right.
Cheers, Sam. Yeah, and for sure we'll make sure the weather's good, because I think Sky's bringing the rain everywhere with them. It'd be nice to come to Manchester when it's dry.
Okay, good for you then. Well, back to
number 2 from